Welcome guys, I'm Al.
I'm Patrick.
And this is the Call to Whiskey.
All hail Cal.
Today we're talking about Paul John Brilliance.
Ooh, a smart whiskey.
I think it's going to be pretty brilliant. Let's take a look. Welcome back. So today's whiskey is an Indian single malt.
Actually, one of my favorite Indian whiskeys on the market today.
Yeah, it's a non-age statement whiskey, aged about 3 to 5 years in reality. It's 46% ABV. It's non-chill filtered. There's no E150 added to it, so it's natural coloring. In fact, Paul John does natural coloring for all their whiskeys, and I really appreciate that. It's aged in ex-bourbon barrels, and I had the pleasure of meeting Paul John a couple weeks ago. It was an amazing experience. I really appreciate all the whiskey that's coming out of their core line.
Well, let's have ourselves a pour.
History time. John Distilleries was founded in 1996. However, the Paul John single malt brand wasn't launched until 2012. Their distillery is located in Goa, India. Their spirit is made from 6-row barley, sourced from the Himalayan foothills, and distilled in traditional copper pot stills. Made, of course, in India. Barreled in a variety of casks, Paul John uses both underground dunnage and ground-level warehouses. The combination of these two different aging processes gives Paul John whiskey a unique taste that separates it from its Scottish counterparts.
All right, let's take a look at the nose. Right off the bat, you're getting a lot of that like green apple that's really synonymous with their core line. Even their peated whiskey has that like green apple note on the back end of a lot of them.
I'm getting a citrus.
Yeah.
Maybe a little lemony too.
It's like orange blossom.
Vanilla?
Yeah, I get that. Vanilla, honey. It's like a hint of cinnamon. Kind of Christmassy. Almost like apple pie.
I see that.
Let's take a look at Palate.
Let's do it. God, it's just so pleasant.
You know, it's a little thinner than some of their other whiskeys, but that cedar and that orange peel is just right there on the palate, and it's really good.
Very polished as an all-around whiskey. I mean, that's the thing we also have to keep in mind is we're talking about Paul John. This tastes like a scotch, like a Japanese whiskey. It's just extremely well done.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like the cheap whiskeys that are coming out of India, and it doesn't, you know, it definitely has plenty of character to it.
God, it's really fantastic whiskey. I mean, I just have to say it is brilliant. You know, we'll be a little cliche adding that in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so well balanced for something at that like beginner entry level of their core line. I really appreciate that. And you get like that mango, again, more cedar. It's a medium finish. Like I said, it's a little thin, but not too thin.
And it lingers a little bit.
Yeah, at that 46% ABV.
Maybe it's just as the 46 ABV. Because that 92 proof, it'll just stay with you a little bit. But not in a rough way. It's just very...
And considering how hot it is in India, right? You're not getting... It doesn't taste like a bourbon, right?
Yeah,
you're not getting the bourbon notes. I think they use a couple different ways to store it. They use a dunnage warehouse that really cools it down. Either way, at that 3 to 5 years, it's
for being so young. Yeah. And again, it tastes very polished, but it is not, you know, as refined as something that would be aged, you know, 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know, they're kicking butt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
it's phenomenal.
I had Brilliance. I think this was the first whiskey I had of their core line a couple years ago, and I was shocked by it then. And even to this day, I'm really, you know, it's just pleasant.
You're the one who told me to give it a whirl, and I started buying a couple of them, and I love them all. Like everyone just has a nice place on my shelf, and they're great.
Yeah, let's get some water in there.
Actually, it opens it up a little more.
Yeah, it does. It does bring in a little more of that like orange and citrus to it, and I'm getting a lot more of that apple from the nose that I was with a little bit of water. It's oily enough that it can, the water definitely can help it.
Yeah, and it still dances on your tongue afterwards. So it's just I can't say enough good things about it.
I'm getting a little bit more clove with the water. Let's give some ice. Yeah, it's a little muted, but I mean, I could drink that all day, especially with a hookah or cigar. Oh my god, this is all day long. The Indians, they like to drink their whiskey like half water, half whiskey, right? Like historically, they pour a lot of water in their whiskey, and
well, that's how you drink all day. Every day.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the heat in the area. I talked to a Sikh last time I was drinking Paul John, and he said that in India they do mostly because of the heat.
Makes sense. Stay hydrated. God, this is just a great whiskey, though. And again, it's not Irish. It's more Japanese to Scotch. For a whiskey.
Yeah. And you're definitely not getting. You would expect a more bourbon note to it with that kind of heat that you're getting, but no, it's very, very Scottish.
So what's the price point on this bad boy?
It's $45 to $60, which is a great price for Indian whiskey.
Oh yeah, this is like right in the middle, but it punches way above its weight.
Yeah, no, Indian whiskey is either dirt cheap, not very good, or it's amaret and it's just kind of a little bit overpriced. A lot more marketing added to it. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to try what's coming out of India, Paul John is a great entry point to try one of the good whiskey that's coming out of India today.
Yeah, actually, it's frankly just a great whiskey that's coming out of India.
Yeah, that's so easy. I could drink that all freaking day. What shelf would you put this on?
I want to say, because it's unique characteristics, I'd really put that on the third shelf.
Yeah, I think third shelf is a solid place to put this. I always give them a little bit bumper up when it's a unique world whiskey that you're not typically going to find everywhere.
And again, it's a beautiful bottle, so it's something that looks really nice, and it tastes really great for the price point.
Yeah, how many Indian whiskeys have you walked in the bar and been like, oh, I'll take that Indian whiskey? No, it's just not happening, right?
Only Paul John, probably.
No, I love it. Next time Paul John is in town, we're planning on interviewing him, and we'll probably get Corey, his brand ambassador, one of these days as well, too.
That'd be really cool.
Well, on that note, our toast today is here's to a long life
and a merry one. All hail cow.